Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Unseen Horror Corner, the series where I rate horror movies based on how much they scare me as a blind person. This episode, Cobweb from 2023. As usual, I will be basing scariness off sound, and I will be delving into spoilers. I really need to charge my light stick more often, it keeps flickering out after a few minutes. Anyway, Cobweb follows Peter, a lonely 8-year-old boy who begins to hear noises in his walls late at night, and when he tries to go tell his parents, they deny any of it happening. So he begins to suspect that they have something to do with it. So when the movie starts, we get a scene of Peter sleeping, and all you can hear in the house is the clock ticking, which is pretty creepy on its own, because you're just waiting for something to happen, and then the thumping begins. Now, thumping in the walls would terrify anybody, but for me especially, I once had an experience where I heard noises coming from my window as if something was trying to climb up it or open it, and then I heard noises in my attic immediately afterward, and since I'm blind, I can't check on that sort of thing myself, and I had to go wake up my whole family. Luckily, it wasn't anything too bad. So naturally, hearing the thumps in the wall reminded me of that, and then once they added a pattern of knocking in, that freaked me out even more, because obviously that's not an animal. Come to find out, it's Peter's sister, and when we first hear her voice, it's when Peter is sleeping and is woken up in the middle of the night, so naturally, I jumped. Although as the story progresses and she tells Peter about how their parents locked her in the walls, and we witness their parents' behavior become more erratic and violent, and the whole mystery starts to unravel there, I felt less fearful of her and more so of the parents until the ending. So when you first hear Peter's sister's voice, it's like this soft little girl voice. But then later, when he breaks her out of the walls after poisoning their parents, it's revealed that she's this sort of superhuman demonic creature, and she has this old crone voice and cackle. Admittedly, when that was revealed, I did kind of laugh. It was very abrupt, but not in a way that scared me, more so in a way that just confused me, because a lot of the movie spends time setting up the fact that Peter's parents are pretty horrible. They do lock him in a basement as punishment at one point. While what his parents did was undeniably terrible, and I understand what they were trying to get at, talking about cycles of violence, the reveal of her voice and then the subsequent rampage she goes on, it just completely took me out. Like, don't get me wrong, hearing her climb and crawl around the house almost like a spider after she's released is pretty unnerving, especially when some other kids break into the house, namely Peter's bullies and his cousins, and his teacher arrives at the house to help him. I was on edge, wondering when she would attack, but hearing her voice every time, it was almost cartoonishly evil. So overall, while the initial setup had me creeped out, by the end of it, I just couldn't stay scared for that long. So for that, I will give Cobweb a 2 out of 5 on my blind fan scare scale. Till next time!